Well, we brought you an amazing fight last weekend.
Yeah.
Chris Eubank Jr., Conor Benn, and we've got more great boxing to look forward to. Daniel Dubois takes on Oleksandr Usyk at Wembley Stadium in July. A huge heavyweight rematch.
Massive.
The fight of the century.
And we're going to find out who the best heavyweight in the world is.
Usyk, I want my revenge. I want my revenge, Usyk.
Usyk just keeping a distance here. He's starting to pick the shots. Goes out from Usyk and down goes Dubois. And the referee is counting again. And he stayed down there, Daniel Dubois. He gets up on 9.5. And the fight is over.
It's a natural rematch, and I think that's the direction I would prefer to go, because I think it's a bigger fight.
Usyk is brilliant. He's absolutely world class. He's an ambassador. He's an athlete of the highest order.
Who are you going to fight next? You.
I think it's Dubois.
This is the one you've been waiting for. Let's get ready to rumble!
If you were listening to White and Jordan yesterday, you would have heard the guys in the building, and they did some stuff on the boxing YouTube channel with our next guest. He joins us from Wembley Stadium, outside Wembley. It is our boxing pundit, former fighter himself, called Spencer Oliver. Hi, Spencer.
Hey, Spence. No.
We can see Spencer.
See Spencer
but we
talking, but we've got
can't
no
hear
sound from it. I mean,
Heavyweight title. I can't wait for this.
Yeah, sorry, Spencer. We couldn't hear your first bit. But you're looking great there. We've said in the sunshine. So we heard from the boys today. This is the official press conference today, isn't it? Live at Wembley.
Yeah, it is the official press conference today. As you say, both boys were actually in the talkSPORT towers yesterday. They were both upstairs in the green room, respectful to each other, to be fair. Oleksandr Usyk is one of those cool customers. He was lying down on the settee, just taking his time, all the media obligations, and Daniel Dubois was just there as well. Look, they both know what they're going into. They boxed each other already once. The controversy surrounding the knockdown. Was it a knockdown? Wasn't it a knockdown? Frank Warren actually turned up at talkSPORT with the pictures showing that it wasn't a low blow. Oleksandr Usyk's manager, Igor, he turned up with a picture showing a totally different shot, saying it was a low blow. So there you go. It's already started, and we're going to expect more at the press conference. It's going to kick off at 2 p.m. today.
They went toe-to-toe on the pitch at Wembley yesterday, and there was a little kind of push from Daniel, wasn't there, on Oleksandr Usyk. I'm never completely convinced with Daniel when he gets. I mean,
he's been told to do.
Yeah, it was a bit panto, but I mean, I'm sure it will get spicier as we get nearer the fight.
Absolutely. Listen, it's all a bit panto in these build-ups to these fights. You know, we need that. You need the big build-ups, the dramas, etc. And I think that Daniel Dubois, he's a quiet kid, isn't he? And he's probably been told, he's had a little whisper in his ear and said, listen, Daniel, liven this up a little bit, because Oleksandr Usyk is that respectful guy as well. He doesn't need to be loud and brash, because he's proved himself in the ring. I mean, look at his last 5 contests. He's had 2 victories over Anthony Joshua, that 9th round KO over Daniel Dubois, 2 victories over Tyson Fury. What left has he got to prove? If he beats Dubois again, he is undoubtedly cemented his place in history as the modern day best of this era.
Yeah, I feel like Dubois has learnt from that fight, and in the last couple of years, he's become a much better fighter due to personal confidence and self-confidence, knowing that he is the level now. And I think, is he hoping that Usyk's sort of gone over the? You know, he's only 38, but you know, he's gonna hit his age at some point, I think.
Absolutely. Listen, and what has that last fight out with Tyson Fury taken out of him? Well, those last 2 fights with Tyson Fury. You know, you look at that. Daniel Dubois is a kid that is still growing, still developing, 27 years of age. You know, and you look at his recent form since losing to Oleksandr Usyk, beating Jarrell Miller, you know, and you've been beating Anthony Joshua, Filip Hrgovic, and you look at that and you go, that is very impressive. And the manner that he's done those as well, especially stopping Hrgovic and Anthony Joshua, you go, this kid is the most dangerous threat for the modern day great in Oleksandr Usyk. No doubt about that. There's going to be a lot of people thinking Dubois can do it. I know Daniel Dubois does, and I know his trainer Don Charles. They really do. They feel that he's in a different headspace now. They feel that he's a better fighter now. And it's going to be a brilliant spectacle, July the 19th. Will we get the undisputed heavyweight champion? He's got a great chance.
Now, we're going to play the listeners a little clip now from Instagram. They may or may not have seen it, because it's become a whole lot more intriguing in the heavyweight division since this appeared. It was Tyson Fury. He took to social media to tease his fans about a potential comeback. Have a look at this.
Just in the gym, happened to bump into somebody you might know. We back.
You know what time it is.
You know what's coming.
It's almost like the spotlight's not been on him for a while.
Well, it's been a couple of weeks since Bob Arum said the promoter, I think Tyson's done. I've been talking to him. I don't think he's ever going to fight again. There he is with Sugar Hill Stewart in the gym. You know what's coming. So, look, it spices the old division up, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Listen, and I know what's coming. I know that Tyson Fury without boxing struggles. He struggles mentally, he struggles physically. Boxing is, and he said it himself, you know, boxing keeps him on that straight and narrow, gives him that focus, that direction, that meaning in life. Trust me, guys, when I say this, we see Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua, and I reckon we see it at the back end of the summer sometime.
And then I take it, I mean, I don't know if there's a stomach for another Usyk fight with Tyson Fury, but there certainly is for Dubois versus Fury, isn't there?
Absolutely, of course there is. There's some big fights out there for Tyson Fury. You know, he's one of the modern-day greats as well. Forget the 2 losses to Oleksandr Usyk. Before that, you know, he was untouchable. And he's a big character outside the ring as well. So, look, there's still a massive place in boxing for Tyson Fury. I think the heavyweight division needs him. You know, as much as he needs boxing, the heavyweight division needs him because there's still some huge fights out there. We need Fury versus Joshua. We want to see Fury and Daniel Dubois going over old ground again. We'd love to see the trilogy. See if he could change it around with Oleksandr Usyk. The first 2 fights were really close. So there's loads of fights out there for Fury. It's just if and when he gets back in the ring.
Good stuff. Cheers, Spencer. Enjoy the sunshine. Thanks a lot.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, with Spencer over there outside Wembley. And subscribe to the Boxing YouTube channel. Head over to Facebook and give Talk Boxing a follow as well, because we've got loads of boxing coverage for you. That should, it is good to see. I mean, everybody knew Tyson Fury was going to be back. No one really believed he was done, did they?
That fight Saturday as well makes me think that it's not all about the belts particularly anymore.
No, that was quite a unique story.
Yeah.
And we were saying yesterday, myself and Adam Cattrall and Gareth A. Davies, quite a lot of people. It's not a fight I want to see again for kind of safety reasons. It was brilliant. You'll never capture that again. You'll never get. So you'll never get Chris Senior rocking up. You'll never get that story again.
Great show business, Paul. It was great.
But apparently there's a rematch clause, and it could be the end of September at Wembley this time.
There'll be 20 million reasons there'll be another one.
Exactly. Anyways, Paul Hawksby and Charlie Baker here on talkSPORT. Lots more to come this afternoon. We'll continue the build-up to Arsenal PSG. Dara O'Brien, comedian and Arsenal fan, joining us for a chat. The great Richard Whitehead, Paralympian, ran the marathon himself. I bet he's not still wearing his medal. We'll talk a bit of Spurs with Richard. That's his team in the next hour as well.
Paul Hawksby and Andy Jacobs, Monday to Friday afternoons 1 till 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.